want to make sure that I don't have the video muted. So you have unmuted us, John. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We are live again, finally.
Oh, why do I hear? I was going to say, I hear us.
We're good. I think we're good. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I had the feed playing on, Derek, at the same time, and so I'm hearing the theme music in my ear, and I'm like, wait a minute, where is this coming from? Anyway, sorry.
That would be a problem.
Yeah,
well, welcome everybody. Sony After Hours support in the middle of the day, so extra sauce, as we call it. My name is Derek. With me is the other guy over there across the world.
Across the world, Larry, but I'm not across the world.
Feels like
we're the same time zone. Yeah.
Feels like it. No.
It's been a while. Yeah.
It has been a while. So those of you who I see a lot of familiar names that are here, Will calling us out again. And we're late, of course. Michael Beckerman, and also shout out to Taz, and I just went black. And Narigis, hopefully I said that wrong. Wrong, right? Hope I said it right. Probably said it wrong. We'll get to your questions in just a second, but just a shout out to everybody else who might be here. I have no idea how many people there are. Why are we here, Larry? What are we doing?
We are, first of all, we're here to reconnect with the incredible peeps that we have abandoned. And we're going to blame Derek for that, obviously. But
we'll talk about it. We'll know who to blame.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah. But we're here to connect and talk about the things we're all passionate about, which is just all things consumer electronics and, more importantly, Sony. So, yeah, that's what we're here for. And, I'm sorry. We provide support also. So if you have any questions, tips, tricks, or anything like that you need to know from us, we'll also help you out with there where we can.
Yeah. We're gonna hang out for a while, talk about some stuff, answer your questions, and let's actually start with that, since there were questions already there. So we're gonna start with the first one that I see. I do hope next year Sony Bravia TV will have at least 144 hertz screen and backlit remote, also cam included. Maybe next generation XR processor is on its way. Well, that I don't know. I love to hear, you do hope, right? And we'll share that as well. I'm sure a lot of stuff is already probably well on its way to whatever's happening. And we'll hope to find out as soon as possible, whatever that's going to be. But when it comes to 144 hertz, and I would like to actually maybe get some insight if you would be able to add some, is I'm a gamer myself, not hardcore. I'm old school. How much of a difference does it make for you? Like, is it a make or break type of thing for you? I'm just kind of curious to know. I understand what the advantage would be. I don't think I've ever experienced it, so I can't say personally what it would be. But I'd love to know that. Obviously, backlit remote, that would be awesome too. Cam included would be great. Next gen, whatever the processing ends up being, if they change the name or not, whatever. I'm excited to see what it's going to do, because we have always wowed when it comes to processing. So that's going to be awesome. Larry, what are your thoughts on?
Can I talk a little bit about that processor question?
Yeah, if you want to. Sure.
I've so gotten in trouble with this before, but the interesting thing about the processor is a next generation of processor. We've sort of have gone through different iterations of the existing XR processor as is and as it stands right now. I think I'm trying to remember the year we announced it. Was it 2022? First year for XR processor? I think it was 2022. But from 2022 to even the TVs that were released this year, 2025, it was 21. Thanks, John. Yeah, 2021 to where we are now. There's been several changes and improvements along the way, things that are unique to the processor. Many of you all may know, like the introduction of XR Clear Image, because when we first started talking about XR Clear Image, I think 2 years ago, God, my brain. Anyway, a couple of years ago when we talked about, 2 years ago when we talked about XR Clear Image, big question was, will my previous model TV that has an XR processor get that same feature? And unfortunately, that was a feature of the processor that wasn't backwards compatible. So along the way, there's been several sort of, I don't want to call them hints, but there's been several additions of different features and enhancements and improvements that have gone along the way that weren't backwards compatible with previous models via firmware update, because of the fact that the processor has evolved. It is still the XR processor, but there has been an evolution. And whether there is a name change or not, to Derek's point, we don't know. Whatever. But just from my perspective, I just want you guys to be confident to know that every year a TV comes out, we build a processor not only to be better than its previous one, but also a processor that is designed to work the best specifically with the TV that it's in, right? So feature sets and things like that that are, baked into it will connect and best work with the hardware for a particular TV model. So anyway, we'll see what the name is or what we do with that. But I am excited as well to see what next year brings. God, we're already talking about next year.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's the same way. It happens every year, right? We the tech people, most of you that are probably here, we're always like, what is the next thing? And we're often surprised, but sometimes we get we kind of dream a little bit bigger than we should in some cases. So sometimes the technology needs to catch up to that. Yeah. Speaking of that, I just want to jump to this one just because I happen to see it. Modern Media HD Group, good to see you. Seems like a whole lot of people there. 100-inch OLED, where is it? And 97-inch. Yeah, I was going to say there. Obviously, there's limitation to the panels that are being manufactured and are available is going to be step number one. We are not a panel manufacturer, so that is sort of not up to us. As far as what we're going to do with some of those larger options, we don't have the insight as far as what is the plan.
Right.
I would love to see those bigger sizes too, and I think that's generally where the market is going. It is just bigger, bigger, bigger. So I would hope it's going to happen in the future. We'll have to see what's going to happen. So stick with us, and we'll let you know what we know when we know.
Yep.
Let's see.
We can.
Moving on to the next one, just because I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Taz 4090. Will Sony fix the color banding posterization on the Bravia 8 Mark II? I did see some of that come up in a review. I'm sure. Well, I can tell you this, and this actually will go into a question I saw as well from Alan. Are Sony engineers aware of some of the reviews from these TVs? And I think it came up on another one too. Yeah, feedback. Will feedback from the shootout go back to HQ? Yes, it will. That's actually kind of what we do as well. We're just another avenue to get some of this information, the feedback and stuff like that to pass it along. The same thing, Modern Media HD Group. Where's the bigger panels? Cool. You are someone, or many people maybe, that are looking for that. So we can share all of that. I built a sheet to track a lot of these requests and asks, and they do get shared. So yes, absolutely. We are here to listen. We legitimately do share this feedback. However, the other side of that, of course, is we're listening, but will something happen immediately? I do not know, to be honest. That's sort of the challenge of where we are is, hey, we said months ago, fix this, and we shared that information, but sometimes we're at the mercy of the hardware, the software, or just whatever future plans that exist. So yes, we're definitely sharing the feedback. They're very aware of things like reviews on different websites, anomalous. Why is this way? It shouldn't be. Yes, we get some red flags on that a lot.
Yeah, and can I add one more thing? And I guess this kind of loosely ties into what Taz 4090 is talking about. Like, I'm trying to read between the lines because I noticed the way color was spelled. So I'm not sure what region of the world, if you're reaching out from the European market or not. But also some of these updates and things that we're talking about, there's different groups of engineers that are working in the different regions because there are some hardware differences between the TVs because of, you got, 50 hertz versus 60 hertz, right? You have different power delivery requirements in different countries and different power regulations in countries. So there are some differences in the products from region to region, which is why Derek, I know, does really a job of mentioning often that a lot of what we are able to accomplish with respects to making sure that the communication is directly given to the people that need to know is regarding North America. However, because of you all and the broad audience that we've been able to sort of build, we have started to forge pathways to where the people we know people that know people that know people that get to everyone, pretty close to all around the world to help out. So just thinking about that. Yeah,
it can be really tough for us in this position because we do want to help a lot of this. And I see a lot of comments on our videos that are like, hey, somebody overseas or in this other region, and I'm actually trying to get more support. And I'm like, there's not really too much I can do aside from trying to promote communication in some way, but it does make things a little more challenging that way. And to Mirko's point here, new firmware for A95L in Europe. Thank you. I know they're working on something. I just don't know what the time frame is because we're not in communication with that team because there are some of those differences. And you followed it up a little bit after we could do a Sony support in Europe. That would be awesome. And I would love to kind of see if we could help, take that off because getting more of that direct communication in that region would be very helpful to a lot of you viewers out there. So we'll do what we can. Again, we do log it. I do have on my sheet, whether it's US region or something else, just so we kind of have an idea of where we can kind of share this stuff. But unfortunately, don't have a lot of insight.
Yep. No one hears John. John talks to us. No one can hear him. So
nobody can hear John. Whatever. Why do you talk, John? You are imaginary. John's not even real. That would be crazy. All right, so we'll kind of go through a couple more of these things. Will Tech, I want to apologize to you specifically, but also everybody else. Joey B, hey-yo. So just really quickly, we had a plan to be live 2 weeks ago, but somebody got sick, and I was out traveling for a training, and we were going to do it live with that group, but unfortunately, somebody didn't make it, so... But he's okay now.
Listen, in order for me to take time off, I have to fake an illness. And unfortunately, our show paid the price. But I desperately needed to go to Disneyland. And so, can I even say that? I definitely needed to go to a theme park. So I faked a sickness and took some additional time off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it is, we've definitely been like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We got to get back into the routine here, so we're going to do that. So that's why we're here today, to sort of catch up on some things, and we're planning for our next bigger live that's actually legitimately after hours. So
August 18th, Michael Beckerman. I know you want us to do a better job of giving definitive dates.
That's true.
August 18th, we will do our evening or nighttime show on Monday night, August 18th. So there you go.
There you go. Speaking of Michael Beckerman, question here: in the future, would it be possible? I feel like I'm talking too fast. I can calm down. Would it be possible to have guests on from Dolby, MediaTek, and Google? So many questions I would love to ask them as well. Thousands of them. I don't doubt that. I know we are actually trying to see what our options are for Google on our seminar videos that are part of our channel as well. To be a little bit more helpful in some of the details and the nuances of what happens on the Google side of things. But I think that would be awesome for us to have that as well. I'd love to get somebody from any of those, or, Sony Pictures, or, something, guests from all sorts of things would be fantastic. But yeah, Crunchyroll, that would be cool too.
Yes. Yeah,
absolutely. So but again, that feedback helps. We can clip these comments and say, hey, this is what the people want. That helps, of course. Let's see. We'll address that question. Are they aware of the reviews? Yeah, Bobby Fub. Yep. They are looking at that. Okay. Sergio, are you guys aware of the TV speaker issues on the A95L and Bravia 8? The firmware update in February from a Bravia 8 that fixed the sound sync issues broke the internal TV speakers. They don't work. I've not heard that. Please contact Sony support. Please put a ticket in for the issue. I've not heard of that at all. I don't have one. I do have an A95L. I do not have any issues with it. So please go to your region's Sony support page and log that issue. And this goes for everybody. As soon as you have an issue, please log it, because that will get it documented closer to the date that it happened. If it was something as a result of this update and they are aware of it, hopefully they'll have some good next steps for you to go into. But I hate to hear that. I'm sorry that happened. But please contact support to get more support on that. Let's see. What do we got? You got anything, Larry? You just gonna sit there quiet? Because I was. The wheels are turning. I can hear.
Yeah. God. I was just looking at a little bit about what the sort of the second half of Will Tech's question regarding regarding HDR is very, very, very interesting. And I remember I had a great conversation with JT He's our technical guru with respect to our products, and it was what was very interesting about his take. And I want to make sure I'm really careful. Um, he talked about HDR performance, and he talked about how our our very intentional design when we're talking about tone mapping and performance still comes down to the BVM, still comes down to the HX3110, and it being the industry standard of what master monitoring is. And so we had our tone curve, and we worked on all of our HDR, what's the word I'm looking for, picture engineering, if you will, around that. In some instances, in some cases, with respect to HDR, what JT said that resonated with me is sometimes things come down between reference and preference. That I joked with him, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says that, reference versus preference, right? Because it was pretty profound. But we don't have to really, not to dig into it, because that was a great panel of judges that were there. They did a fantastic job, from what I'm hearing. I hate I couldn't go, and Derek wasn't able to go. But they did an absolute stellar job in evaluating all of the televisions. But there's every manufacturer is going to make its decision on what it wants to focus on and what it wants to do. Some of the situations with our overall performance that we're proud of is obviously what we did in SDR, and I thought that was kind of interesting because a lot of the conversations around Bravia 8 Mark II was SDR performance, and for us, especially the processing element of it, for us to perform so well there, I was very, very proud of. But we loved that TV, and the reviewers loved the TV overall, as you can see by the win, the overall victory of King of TVs. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds. Obviously, we all take that information back, and we're always wanting to see what we can do, tweak, and adjust. But we do that even without the review. Our engineers are always trying to see how we can better our products while we have them, while they're in the home. So that's just a part of our DNA. So anyway,
Yeah,
just want to throw that out there.
Sort of reminds me of that update for the Bravia 3 that happened 5 months ago now, something like that. That
February. Yes,
the way that it processed the image into individual zones, even though it's not zone based, is crazy. So
wild.
You're right. And I see a lot of that too. A lot of people like, hey, I've been hearing a lot about this post the King of TV event, and Jimmy kind of be like, oh, is my TV going to get fixed? Because he's 8 Mark II. Honestly, I don't really know what is going to happen, because this is pretty fresh. And of course, there's going to be a lot of talks about what did they fix? Why did it happen? What was the situation? All that stuff needs to be discussed. So it's obviously going to be taken seriously. What will happen as a result? Unfortunately, I don't know. But are they going to be looking into it? Absolutely, 100%. So we'll have to kind of see. But, Jimmy, I would say too, it's still a fantastic TV, but I totally understand that you invested this. This is what you expect. Totally understand that. It's still an incredible TV, but, hopefully there'll be something in the future, but we will have to see. But hopefully the TV's still very enjoyable as it is, which I would expect it would be. But
yeah,
understandable to be like, hey, I paid for this. That's what I want. Makes sense.
Yep.
Let's see. What else are we missing?
I'm kind of cheesing and grinning over here at where is it at Martin's comment. Do you see Martin? Look, well done, team, on the win. Yeah, just new Sony World come out on top. Okay, I reckon if the A95L was there, it would have won too, as it's the master of TVs. I think that's kind of awesome. I think.
Yeah, that's cool to see that too. It is a beautiful TV. I absolutely love mine, and I know that there were some people that have concerns about it, and it had its moments of, oh well, this didn't work, this is bad, whatever. A lot of stuff is fixed, and to Larry's point, I think that is a fantastic way to put it, that reference versus preference. And sometimes our preference is not what the reference is. And that's okay. I will say, I know a lot of people, and no offense to this, but some people really just prefer vivid mode on their TV. That's fine. That's that particular person. And it's sorry, John sassing, but for somebody who understands more the technology and understands creators' intent and how this stuff works, might be like, well, why would you do that? Like Vivid is
Right.
oversaturating and it's not accurate. And like, well, if that's their preference, it's not reference, but it's all about what they like. So totally get that.
Well said. Yep. Well said. Yep. Well said.
So, I'll let you say that, John. Yeah.
So
they can't hear you. So
yeah, I got one for you, Derek, because Pete has a good question on there, and this is a super common question that happens as we spend time in the field